Can we start out like a movie poster? Schnitzel.
That was good.
I was trying to come up with a caption.
Schnitzel is good for me.
It's not. Welcome to another great episode of Play Culture. By now, you've probably seen a few bloopers and some B-roll with our name going like whoosh across the screen.
Welcome.
I don't know, maybe. Welcome. This week on Plate Culture, we decided to be a little festive and celebrate German culture in the form of a schnitzel. A Wiener Schnitzel.
Hashtag Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest is a super popular German celebration that happens
In October.
in October.
Wait, does it actually?
I think it's at the start of October.
I don't even know that it is in October, but
They start celebrating at the end of September. When is Oktoberfest? Ends on October 3rd. We were only 27 days late. Now, we realized that we were late in celebrating Oktoberfest, but we wanted to bring you guys a video, and maybe next year you guys can. Words are hard today. We realized we might be. Oh my. The hell is Lucas Bologna?
Hello, good morning, Lucas. My name is Brian, sir. Giving you a call at 4 to put it on. The only reason I'm calling you is a reference to the home inspection that was done with all its construction and inspections.
so we realized that Oktoberfest starts mid-September and ends at the beginning of October, but we still thought it would be fun to make a festive dish inspired by Oktoberfest.
So I don't think it's any surprise that we made a classic Bavarian / Alpsy dish called Wiener Schnitzel. You might have heard of it. It is a super classic dish. Schnitzel refers to the dish itself, and the word Wiener means from Vienna. So it is also an Austrian dish, but it is very commonly prepared throughout the region, especially in Bavaria and southern Germany. Wiener Schnitzel is made with veal cutlets, and you can do schnitzels with a lot of different meats, with pork, with chicken. We made two types this time around. We did the classic Wiener Schnitzel, but we also made some with chicken because veal is expensive.
I didn't even get any.
She didn't get one. All right, so schnitzel is a very easy dish to make. All you need is a few key ingredients and some general knowledge on how to prepare fried foods. You've probably done this before if you've ever made some sort of fried chicken or fried fish, for example. Uses verily, why do I keep saying verily? These dishes use a similar type of frying method. So you've probably seen it before, but I'm gonna show you guys how to make the Wiener Schnitzel. So you wanna start out with your cut of meat, so either veal or chicken or pork or whatever you want to use. One important thing to consider when you are making the schnitzel is that if you are using a meat that's not already pretty flat, so the veal that we get, veal scallopini, is already flat when you buy it. However, if you use chicken thighs like I did, in addition to the veal, then you want to make sure that you flatten those out. So put those in a plastic bag and hit those with a meat hammer and make sure that those are nice and flat without breaking apart the meat too much. You dredge it in flour mixed with some salt, and once that's completely coated, you shake off the excess flour. Then you dredge it in an egg mixture, so you scramble up some eggs in a bowl. Don't scramble them. I mean, like, you make some. They're non-heated eggs.
Whisk the egg.
Whisk the eggs. Do not scramble them. And then once you shake off the excess egg off of that, you want to dredge it in breadcrumbs. I used plain old breadcrumbs. You can have a few different varieties here. I just went with the plain old breadcrumb. And then you want to set that gently, very gently, lay it away from you into a cast iron skillet with some vegetable oil. You want to make sure that you're using vegetable oil or canola oil or something along the lines that has a high smoking point. Olive oil is not an oil that you use for cooking deep fried foods. It has a really low smoking point and it's going to not work well. So you want to make sure that you're using canola or vegetable.
You have a booger.
Once you've laid the cuts of meat that have been covered in the egg and the breadcrumb mixture into the oil, you want to make sure that you're not going to burn it, so don't have the oil on too hot, but make sure that it's hot enough to where it's sizzling right when you put in the meat. Once it's turned brown on one side, you want to flip that over and cook it on the other side for the same amount of time. And then once that's nice and golden brown on both sides, you take it out and put it into a baking dish lined with paper towels. This just removes the excess grease after you take it out. And once you've done that with all of your cuts of meat, you have your schnitzels ready. So let's talk about some sides, Laura.
So a great side to go along with this dish are mashed potatoes.
Yes.
So for these mashed potatoes, you're gonna wanna use a starchy potato, about 5 to 7 large potatoes.
We used russets.
Russets. So you peel them and you chop them up into 2-inch cubes. Then you throw them into the boiling water. Once they are completely boiled and very tender, you strain them. You're going to use this fancy gadget called a ricer.
Watch the B-roll footage going across the screen of the potato ricer at work.
This is like a child's Play-Doh dreams coming to life as an adult.
You can buy them for $5 at IKEA.
Not sponsored. So once the potatoes have been riced, you will add butter, heavy cream, salt, pepper, and some nutmeg.
Just a little smidge of nutmeg, an egg yolk.
And an egg yolk. You stir it up till it's the consistency that you want, and voila, you have mashed potatoes.
Now, we've made mashed potatoes before on this channel, but using the ricer really did make a huge difference. It allows the potatoes to get super, super fine. You don't have to use a hand mixer. You don't have to whip them. They're gonna be the perfect consistency just by running them through that ricer. So I would definitely suggest getting one. They are hugely useful.
Hugely.
For making mashed potatoes.
And I guess other things. I don't know what else you could throw through there, but it'd be really cool to do some experiments on ricing. What else
You could rice some cauliflower. Make some cauliflower mash.
Oh, that would be easy.
For those parents out there whose kids don't eat vegetables, you can mash some cauliflower and carrots into your regular potatoes and they won't know the difference. They won't know the difference. You'd be able to sneak in some veggies, get them some vitamins.
What else did we serve with it?
Asparagus.
The best asparagus ever. He's got the secret recipe and it is divine.
The secret to asparagus is that you literally don't do anything to it other than add salt, pepper, and olive oil and throw it in the oven. This literally makes the best asparagus. The asparagus has a flavor that speaks for itself, so you don't want to cover that too much. You don't want to get fancy with spices and let it crispen up.
Keeping it easy.
Once you've finished all the different aspects of the meal, you want to plate it. So you throw a dollop of mashed potatoes on your plate. You add your cutlet of meat on top of that, and then your asparagus on the side. And then on top of your meat and potatoes and asparagus, you want to garnish with a lemon wedge and some curly parsley. And then, of course, as always, you want to throw some salt and maybe even a little bit of pepper on top when serving. And then you're ready to eat.
Yeah.
And then you eat it all of it.
Until it's gone.
Until it's gone.
We really enjoyed this dish. We ended up eating outside since the weather's cooling down. Here in Florida, we're having fall. It's been 75. It's been great.
Wow. It's like the coldest it gets in Florida.
But it was nice. This is a great comfort food just to spend time with your family, enjoy a nice evening. Highly
The perfect
recommend.
dish for the fall.
Perfect. It really was perfect for the fall. And it wasn't so filling that I felt like I was bloated and needed to unbutton my pants.
This is not the type of fried food that'll make you feel like
You're not
garbage
sweating.
afterward. You're not having the meat sweats afterward. It's just the right balance of vegetables and good comfort food without making you feel horrible.
So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and maybe next year around this time you can make it for your very own Oktoberfest family occasion.
Or you can make it whenever during the entire year.
Make it tomorrow.
Just
If you
celebrate Bavaria for fun.
Celebrate Bavaria.
Now we are fast approaching one of the big time food holidays of the year, Thanksgiving, and then shortly after Christmas. So we're really excited to share some recipes with y'all, but we also want to know, what do you guys want to see? What are some dishes? What are some recipes that you make around Thanksgiving time and Christmas time that you'd like to see us cover?
Yeah, traditional or non-traditional.
Yes, especially international foods. We would love to see what other international cultures do around Christmas time. Obviously, other cultures don't necessarily celebrate Thanksgiving. However, around Christmas time, let us know, what does your family do? What kind of dishes do you make? I would love to check those out, and we can potentially make some. So just so you guys know, we are perfectly comfortable with the number of people watching our videos these days, so make sure you do not like or subscribe to this channel. We don't want it. Let us stay at the level we're at. It's exclusive. It's top tier.
Don't like and subscribe.
Don't do it. I know you're wanting to, but don't do it. Stop moving your mouse that way. Stop. Stop it right now. No. Don't you click. Don't click.
No.
Don't click.